we're going to do another example of the limit definition of the derivative. So you can see my formula right there. But as you can also see, I'm also going to do this function, which is a root. Okay. All right. So step one when I'm using this formula is to make sure I know what f of x plus h is. So f of x plus h is the square root of, everywhere I see an x, I'm going to put an x plus h. Okay, cool. So when I go to use this formula, I'm going to have the limit as h goes to 0 of the square root of x plus h plus 5 minus the square root of x plus 5 all over h. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, now I got to clean this up until I get a formula all in x's. So let's see what happens. Okay, if I plug in h is 0 right now, you guys following along? If I plug in h is 0 right now, I'm going to get 0 over 0. Sad Jen. Okay, what's going on is that right now we have a hole and I need to find out what the y value is, or the function. Okay, so what I'm going to do is anytime you have roots with limits, you want to multiply by the conjugate. And it's going to be a hot mess at first, but be patient. Just hang in there, okay, guys? Okay, so here I go. I'm multiplying by the conjugate. Okay, here is the secret to succeeding at these problems. Number one is making sure you write this correctly. Okay, the second thing is you're just going to FOIL out the top, because the top is going to have this wonderful relationship where the roots are going to pop off and cancel. Okay, the bottom you're going to leave factored. So we're going to leave this bottom as h times this gigantic mess. Okay, so let's see what happens. So when I FOIL this, I get a root and a root that matches. That root and root that matches, we're going to pop off, and I'm just getting x plus h plus 5. So this is going to turn into x plus h plus 5 when I multiply this guy and this guy together. Okay, now, when I multiply this guy and this guy, I get a positive one of those two crazy roots. But then, when I FOIL this term and this term, I get a negative one. So this guy is going to cancel out with this guy. Woohoo! Okay, last but not least, I'm going to get a minus, and I get this root and this root, which matches. Because this root and this root matches, it's going to just be an x plus 5. So I'm going to get a minus x plus 5 with the root popping off. Okay, now, notice what happens. X plus h plus 5 minus x plus 5 is x plus h plus 5 minus x minus 5. So notice what happens. That whole thing, when I FOIL out this disgusting top, is just the letter h. So here's where I'm at. The limit as h approaches 0 of h over h. And this crazy, disgusting root. Maybe I'm being a little harsh calling it a crazy, disgusting root, but come on. Okay, now, I'm going to cross off the h's. That's why we didn't FOIL it. If you distributed out this h in the previous step, it would be buried in this mess. I want it out front with a target on its back so I can knock it out. Okay, now, once I've knocked out these two h's, now plug in h is 0. 0. Okay, so this is going to be a 1 over root of x plus 5 plus root of x plus 5, which when I have a matching pair, that means 2 of them. Okay, this is my f prime of x formula. So for my original function, which was the square root of x plus 5, if you ask me any point on that function, this will give me the slope of the tangent line, or the slope of the function. So what happens when I plug in that spot that they were asking me about, which was negative 1? All right, let's see what I get. I'm going to get the square root of 4, which is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So it turns out that the slope is going to be 1/4. Okay, so this is my answer in general, that this is the slope of the function, or the slope of the tangent line. And this is at the specific point that they asked me about. Okay, now, What happens if they want me to find the equation of the tangent line? Oh, dude, that's easy peasy. Once I have this slope, if they ask me about the equation of the tangent line, I would take this point and my slope 1/4, and I would plop it into boom. That would be my answer. Okay, so the tangent line should be super easy. That should not be the pain. The pain is all of this. All right, keep practicing. Good luck. Check your homework solutions to my solutions and see how it works out.